Hey everybody, this is Javi. It's 5 o'clock where I am, 5 p.m. where I am Eastern Standard Time, and you're watching the Bowtie Psychic here on YouTube. My cat's kind of bothering me a little bit. I'm a psychic and intuitive medium who focuses on writing and divination, and help people overcome generational trauma. Hey, to the people who are popping on, welcome. I appreciate. Hey, yeah, I'm sorry. What ended up happening today? Michaela, was that I was trying to do a reading for do a shadow reading, and I was told by spirit that that reading was for me. It wasn't for the general public, and so that's why I was getting all this wonky stuff. But yeah, I definitely did a reading on myself, and there you go. I got what I got. But I definitely am going to be doing some shadow readings. For I want to say it'll be relatively soon. I really like doing that. But for today, I'm doing the inner child reading for Taurus, inner child energy for Taurus. So if you know any Taurus people in your life, by all means, let them know that I'm here. And also make sure to push that like button. How are you doing, Michaela? And hey to the person who just jumped on. I'm all right now. I'm good. I'm good now. Okay, I'm good. It's just that like the computer was acting up. I think it was a combination of Mercury retrograde, YouTube doing the most, and Spirit saying like, "No, get off the computer." So that's what's going on, you know. But I'm all right. But I am doing. I was tapping into Taurus energy, as far as the inner child energy, in general. I don't know what's going on with Taurus. I do not know what's going on with Taurus, but y'all have a lot going on, and y'all are not facing your stuff. You're not facing your stuff. I'm being honest with you. Like you're doing some fuck shit right now that I am not comfortable with, and it involves you not looking at yourself and what's going on. You have a lot of Scorpio energy around you, and we're still in Scorpio season. You were doing everything you can, or do everything you were doing everything you could, excuse me, to hide what was going on. I just wanted to get that out because that's the feeling I was getting, and I'll definitely put the while I'm doing the intuitive reading, I'm definitely doing that. Um, I'm not even talking. See, Mercury retrograde is my ruling planet, and it messes with my communication skills. As far as the intuitive reading, I will put the timestamp where I started, and then I'll start with the inner child reading. But definitely, what I got from Taurus, that energy, I don't know what y'all doing. I don't know what you're hiding. I don't know what you're about, but it's not going to go well with you if you don't tell the truth or face the truth, for yourself. Because what's happening is that all your stuff is coming up, and you're doing everything. It's like deception. I'm just getting like this bit of deception on your end, whether deceiving yourself or deceiving others. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. I can feel it in my stomach that it makes you uncomfortable. You're very uncomfortable with something. You're very uncomfortable with the truth coming out. You're very uncomfortable with feeling your own feelings around the truth. And so if you just come forward and you just, it's nothing bad. You didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a bad person, Taurus. But what I'm getting from you is that you are really doing something that's going to hurt you in the long run. And it's up to you to come forward and move forward. Um, that's what I'm getting. Y'all are really like being tested. You're being tested, um, through through this season, during this season. I mean, it like the retrograde is really messing y'all up, and it's like really like it's as if like because when I think of Taurus or Taurians maybe, I think of magicians. I think of magicians. I think of the Hierophant, and I think of magicians. You are about magic. You're about power. You are often using your power to get your way with people, and to basically like show how powerful you are. And now with retrograde coming through, it's as if all that's being stripped away somehow and is actually working against you. Excuse me, instead of for you. Especially with retrograde happening, and like I said, communication um, is going to be affected as a result of the retrograde. And so what's happening is that a lot of the vocabulary and the manipulation with words and the words that you use to get your way with people is backfiring on you. Is backfiring on you. And so now you're being asked to Taurus, whether it be sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus, you're being asked to basically to come forward and start to face your stuff, because now you can't hide anymore. I'm just getting a lot of hiding. You can't do that anymore. Like the cloak, that whatever cloak of intelligence or cloak of magic that you put yourself under, to protect your true intentions, they're now being revealed. So just be aware of that, okay? Yeah, like I don't know what's going on with y'all, but y'all not getting away with it. That's for damn sure. I'm being for real. Like you're not getting away with the hell's with whatever's going on. Okay. Um, I just feel like it will get better over time, and you won't feel as uncomfortable over time. You know what I mean? Especially like around December, towards the end or mid December, is what I'm getting. But what I'm getting right now is that you're in the thick of your shadows. You're in the thick of examining, or being forced to examine what is it exactly you are hiding from yourself, and what you're working so hard to hide from other people, because whatever's going on with you, people are now seeing it. People are now suspecting what's going on. It's not about them and what they feel about you. Um, it is basically about your life and your personal growth. And what's happening is that you're literally being forced to look at yourself for very, very good reasons. You're going to start to see that it's not okay for you to use your magic and to use your abilities to finesse people with your knowledge or with your jack of all trades stuff. You're not going to be able to hide that anymore. You're going to have to be real with yourself, and you're going to and circumstances around you and whatever's going on. I feel like there's a lot of turmoil around a Taurus. You're definitely going to be in that position. You're basically being put in a position to free yourself. Okay, but right now I'm just seeing like darkness and darkness around you, and darkness. And I'm not saying evil. When I say darkness, I don't mean evil. What I'm saying is that um, when it comes to your intentions, to your spirit, there's a lot of like I'm seeing a lot of black around you, and that means that when I think of black, if there's no fatigue, I think of secrecy. I think of cloaking. I think of a veil, and so all that stuff is going to be stripped away during the September season. So just be aware of that. I'm getting you're okay. You will be okay, but a lot of the deception that you put out into the world, Taurus, is not working for you right now. It's time for you to be real with yourself, especially when it comes to your magic, especially when it comes to your abilities. What are you doing to people? What are you doing to yourself that's putting you in harm's way energetically? And if you're a spiritual person and you're working with people, excuse me, what are you doing with your magic to manipulate the situation? Are you using it to heal people, or are you using your abilities to cause harm and to bend your will, or to bend their will, so they can do so you can do what you want to do, you know what I mean, or um, use their energy to to basically control a situation that you are in, okay, or you're a part of. So yeah, like yeah, like you're not going to feel good about this. This is basically your month to get your stuff together, Taurus. This is your month to get your stuff together and to be real about where you are and be real about how you are treating people in regards to your abilities. Yeah, like your shadows are coming up. Your shadows are coming up. So that's all I have for Taurus as far as the intuitive reading. If that connected with you in any way, shape, or form, by all means, click that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Um, I also wanted to say too that my website is finally up, so you can go to thebowtiepsychic.com to basically sign up for services or make an appointment. I just added some services too. So, in addition to the typical readings, will it be whether it be like the 3 card reading, 5 card, 10 card, however that is, there's also specialized reading. So, there'll be like there's the light and shadow energy reading, the feminine and masculine energy reading, and also the inner child energy reading. So be sure to look at that and see how that goes. But now we are going to check out the inner child energy for Taurus. And what I'm going to do, tap into that real quick. Dear higher spirit, help me tap into the inner child energy of those born under the Taurus sign, sun sign, moon sign, rising sign of Venus. Anything? Did you do anything fun today, Michaela? I definitely want to give a shout out to Michaela. Like, ever since I've been doing live videos, she's been here day one. So I appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry. Not really. I have just been kind of off today. Um, and just I was just in the house, um, talking to my spiritual mentor. I didn't do anything fun today. It's a Wednesday, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do very much on a Wednesday. What messages does the inner child energy have for those born under the Taurus sign, sun sign, moon sign, rising sign of Venus? What message? Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you. Oh wow. So what I got here, the first card that I received for the inner child energy for Taurus is the Knight of Cups upside down. I'm just getting like from straight up like from jump to stop being so sneaky and underhanded. That's what I got from this card. That's the energy I get because this person is actually, if we're right side up, the Knight of Cups usually talks about how um, how good a person is, to shine, to run forth and shed your light on the world, and also to be honest with yourself about who you are and where you are. Right. That's what I usually get for this card. But what I'm getting is that that's not what you're doing, Taurus, and the inner child is basically saying like, this is not pretty much this is not the time for you to be like sneaky or underhanded. This is not the time for you to. There's no need for this. There's no need for you to be sneaky. Okay, there's no need for you to do that. The reason being is that when you are not honest with people, and I'm just getting this is the inner child within you. For some odd reason, you were always in survival mode, Taurus. When you were a child, you were always in survival mode because you feel like when you're honest with where you are, honest about yourself, honest about what your likes were, your dislikes, your feelings, your emotions. You felt like you were shut down. You were shut down, and you were basically told to go on somewhere, right? So basically, what's happening here is that as an adult, you are now feeling as if you have to finagle around people, places, and situations in order to get what you need emotionally. This is what I'm getting. You are being told by your inner child that when you were a child, okay, because your inner child's telling on you right now. They're telling on you to those who resonate with who's resonating with this message. Your inner child is basically saying that when you were a child yourself, you had to. No one listened to you. No one paid attention to you. When they did, the interactions were like a negative to say the very least, and they were not very nurturing towards you. The adults around you were not the adults around you were not here to support you in any way, shape, or form. Okay, and you were very even then you were very intuitive and you were very magical. You were also very smart and always very inquisitive, and even that was not upheld. So now, as an adult, you're doing everything you can to make up for lost time, and you're literally like you cloaking yourself as an adult. You're cloaking yourself as this fine to an adult who's very well read and very well received in all this other stuff. But what's happening is that is still that child within you that is basically out here, um, just just doing the most to get the attention you've always wanted. You've always wanted attention. You've always deserved attention, and you did deserve the love and the attention. But what ended up happening for you, Taurus, is the fact that you did not get that when you were little. You did not get that love. You did not get that affirmation, that adoration. And so now you're looking for it in other people and you're manipulating people. I'm going to use the word. I'm going to use the word. You're manipulating people to get what you want and need emotionally. And it's not okay. Okay? You're being told that you're better than this. You're way better than this. You don't have to do all this. Okay? Keep yourself grounded and know that despite your childhood and despite what you know or who you know, you're still loved. Just be yourself. Okay? You got from your inner child energy the the king of wands. Okay? You're not grounded. Okay? What I'm getting from your inner child right here, Taurus, is the fact that your energy is pretty much everywhere at this point. Your energy is everywhere, and you are doing everything you can to contain that energy. See what happened when what I'm getting is that when you were a child, you were told to be quiet. You were told, and your yeah, this comes from you not um, being in survival mode and having to be afraid. You're often afraid of not having control over the situation because what ended up happening was that you were around adults who were constantly trying um, to paint your narrative or to write your narrative for you, to write your story for you, meaning that they try to tell you what to do, who to be, where to be, and there was just like some sort of strictness. It's like people were strict with you. People were often telling you who and what you were supposed to be. And now, as an adult, you struggle with that. You struggle with people, not being in control of the situation, not being in control and not being able to navigate the world the way you would like to. And so now, like that stuck with you, Taurus. That stuck with you. That stuck with you, and now I'm just getting you not being able to stand still. You're not being able to stand still because of what you've been told as a child. You've all been told like, sit down, be quiet, don't say anything, don't do anything. And I'm just getting like now, um, that is literally like ruining, not exactly ruining you, but you just have a hard time staying still and staying grounded and not being in control of the situation. Okay. Yeah, like I'm just getting, ooh, yeah, you don't like people telling you the truth either. Because I can feel it in my stomach. My stomach's in knots. You weren't ready for this message. Your inner child, as I told you, is telling on you. Okay? And it's for the greater good. I know I know for me, when I don't want to hear this with the truth, I'm not trying to, I will be the first one to fight it. I fight it. I will fight it verbally, and then, I fight it energetically, knowing full well to the person that's telling the truth. You really don't like it when people tell you the truth. You don't like that at all. It doesn't make you feel okay. Okay. And so your inner child is basically telling you all these things as far as how your childhood was and who you were as a kid, to basically like let you know, like, look, you can't even, you can't survive like this anymore. Okay. What I'm getting from these cards is that you're in survival mode. This is you in survival mode. This is you in survival mode. Okay. Yeah. So let me see if we got anything else. So what were you surviving from? What was going on? What was going on with the inner child of Taurus that they didn't feel safe? Okay. So I got the Two of Pentacles here. Y'all got a lot of pentacles. I'm like, is this a no? You got all like a couple of cups here, but what I got here for the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm just getting there was a lot of chaos in your household. There was a lot of, I'm getting for Taurus, when you were a child, there was a lot of chaos in your household. There's a lot of chaos around you now. And it's because of what you've gone through, because of the fact that you had to be in survival mode. You had to make sense of what was going on. You had to make sense. So you did everything you could, again, to control the narrative, to control what was going on. And so the way for you to control the narrative is to make sense of it. And that's what you were trying to do. That's what this card was saying. That you definitely tried to make sense of what was going on around you when you were a child, and you're doing that now. Okay, that's one of the reasons of Taurus is that you are trying to, when it comes to your magic, or when it comes to your trade, or when it comes to whatever talents you have, you use that particular talent to get people's attention because you can control that for a little while. But what that card is basically saying, and what in the energy that I'm getting from your inner child is that um, that's what you used to do. You used to make you use your talents and use your intellect. You will literally pick up trades and pick up interests, um, because the more you knew, the more you can use that knowledge to make sense of what was going on around you. And when you can make sense of what was going on around you, or use whatever you've learned to understand your environment, you can control or at least predict what was going to happen to you, or predict whatever was going to happen within your environment so you can stay safe. That's what I'm getting. That you are like, this is about you being safe, Taurus. So the more you know, the less chaotic your situation is going to be. The less chaotic, and that's how you operate now. That's how you operate now. I also got the Eight of Cups here. The Eight of Cups is about basically magic and letting go. Okay, I'm getting that. I'm getting that as far as your belief system, your belief system. I'm getting that when you were a child, you had certain belief systems that were not exactly upheld or revered. You had a lot of questions about the world. You had a lot of questions. I'm getting about God, about Jesus, about a lot of things that were happening in your life. Why were things happening the way they were? Why is God allowing this to happen? What is God? Where did God come from? Why is the sky blue? Why is this going on, that going on? I felt like you were very inquisitive about the world and what was going on. You were very spiritual, and you wanted to make sense of your spirituality. You're just coming into yourself and coming into um, your. Sorry, that was my cat. You were coming into your sense of how the world works. You just wanted to do something to understand what was going on. It would not surprise me at all if you started asking, start having visions or reading about the supernatural or the paranormal. I know, even though I'm not a Taurus, I know that I did. Not to make sense of the world, but because I love the stories. You know what I mean? But it would not surprise me at all, Taurus, if you started to learn about. I'm getting like different types of symbols, witchy symbols, like the pentagram, or different types of sigils. I think it's called sigil, where or angel numbers or something of that nature. To where I'm also getting a lot of you just have like a old age, like an ageless knowledge, like a wealth of knowledge already, and you were tapping into that energetically. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people, a lot of us, we've had different lives, and we have different abilities. There are some of us who are exactly time travelers. There are some people who use that ability to travel, to different dimensions, or to understand, the ascended masters and stuff like that. And I'm just getting like a lot of your knowledge was like, it was deep rooted in like old magic old magic and old ways of doing things. You know what I mean? Like old rituals. Um, I don't even know how to explain it, but I just get like there was like I'm seeing robes. I'm seeing like um, rooms. I'm seeing fire and torches. I'm seeing like wooded areas where you literally had like maybe like your coven or something like that. And I'm seeing like maybe you were interested in that. I'm also seeing some old lives, sorry, I'm seeing some past life stuff with you, Taurus. When you were a child, and your inner child was very much tapped into that. It was very much tapped into this. Okay. What's happening though is that over time, something, despite the fact that you held on to that, it wasn't exactly revered. And so now, as an adult, you're going overtime, okay, with your magic, and you're going overtime with your beliefs. And so what's happening, um so what's happening, hold on, Michaela. So what's happening with you, Taurus, is that now you have the freedom to understand what you've always learned, what you've always been interested in, as far as your magic, as far as rituals and things. And now you're using that, yes, to make your life better, but I'm also getting that you're using that to manipulate situations out of mere safety, out of that fear of not having safety, out of that fear of lack. Okay, so let me see here. Um, Michaela said, when I was young, I used to travel in my dreams to find the ways of the world because I wasn't able to get answers. Correct. Did I thank you for saying, thank you, Michaela. And that's what's going on with Taurus. What's going on with Taurus is that a lot of you are when you were a child, you don't have the answers. You're just traveling. You're doing everything, and it would not surprise me, just like with Michaela, that a lot of you traveled, time traveled, or astral projected. A lot of us still do, but but children are more susceptible to astral project because they are not tainted by the world view yet. They're not tainted by the world's view yet in regards to esoteric beliefs or spirituality. Okay, so that is what's happening with Taurus, and what's happening with you is that when your inner child is basically saying that you can still do that, but you can also not use those abilities to hurt other individuals. Okay, so that is like you're just I'm just getting like for you're just using a lot of your power to still make sense of the world. Okay, continue to do that. Continue to use your magic, but don't use your magic or whatever you're using, Taurus, to hurt other people. Because I'm just seeing there's some stuff going on with you, and a lot of your shadows are coming out. This is the time for you to do some shadow work around why you're still in survival mode. Okay, so what is holding Taurus back? What is holding Taurus back as far as the childhood, as far as healing? What's holding them back? What's holding Taurus back? Hmm. Oh wow. I was wondering, Michaela, real quick. Do you write down your dreams or record your dreams in any way, shape, or form? Hmm. All right. So what I got here, as far as the bridge, and the bridge is actually the is you. How do I explain the bridge? It's the my brain. I'm blaming retrograde for this. The bridge is the conflict. Okay, for me, like when I see the bridge, I see it as the conflict or whatever is holding you from the back from the solution. And so what I got here is as a hi Baba. So what I got here was the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is very much about action. Got it. No, I haven't been. For some reason I get ignored when I write them down. Okay, okay. Yeah, we can definitely talk about that if you so choose too. Well, like it'd be best to like figure out why you get annoyed. Okay. Um, but I definitely got the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is basically about being action oriented and moving ahead and moving it ahead with confidence. Okay, and basically knowing that spirit is with you, right? So that's why like you have the Ace of like in the sky here with light, with the sun shining behind it, is because that tells me that spirit is behind you. Spirit is like giving you the go ahead as far as your action. What's happening though is that there is something that is like keeping Taurus back. There's a source of some sort of inaction. What's going on is that you're holding yourself back, Taurus. Okay, whatever block that you have, what's happening, your inner child is pointing this out, is that it could either be the past or your childhood. What's it could be like your past or something that happened in the past, or something that you like, some sort of instant gratification with some of the behaviors that you have displayed over the years. Either way, I get this: if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. Okay. Excuse me, my cat is doing most. What I said. Oh, no. So what's happening is that you have like this mentality of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've been surviving for this long. Why would I give up that power? Why would I give up? I've been using as a survival mechanism. But what's happening here is that your inner child is saying that you don't need that anymore. You don't need that anymore. You don't need to. And I know I'm using lack language when I say need, but it's not necessary anymore. It's not necessary for you to use these tools and these trinkets, whatever you're using, whatever power that you're wielding onto people in order to survive, whatever you are doing, whether using your knowledge or using your magic or using your words or some sort of divination, whatever you're using is not. Spirit is saying, even spirit is saying, like, look, your higher self is waiting for you to come up, but you are not to do this anymore. Your inner child is waiting to grow up. Your inner child is saying, like, this doesn't feel okay. And so now it's like it's not doing you any good to not listen to your inner child, because sooner or later they're going to show up in your life. They're going to show up and show out. And that's exactly what's going to be happening. And in fact, that's what's happening now. And that's why you're having a hard time, with within this season, the Scorpio season right now, because you're being you're not acting, or you're not moving to change a lot of these behaviors. And now, whatever the behavior is, and now you're being forced to. You're being forced to look at yourself. You're being forced, Taurus, to pretty much examine your behaviors. Okay. When it comes to love or friendships, you're being asked to do that. Okay. And also you have the Two of Swords. Again, I was like, there's like this lack of decision making. Okay, because the Two of Swords is actually, it represents making a decision and forging ahead, basically having a plan to make a decision. I'm getting that you feel like you're so used to, and what the and the I'm getting the energy that I'm getting here is that you're so used to acting a certain way and being a certain way, that the whole idea of you changing, you feel like there's like some sort of, I feel like you don't know what to do without those defense mechanisms or those survival mechanisms. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that your survival mechanisms, um, you feel like you're lost without them, or you would be lost without them, which is why you feel like that's another reason why you're not moving. Okay, so your inner child is basically saying, like, look, again, you do not need those anymore. And in fact, there are many other healthy mechanisms that you can use, Taurus. There's other ways you can you can thrive, okay, without those mechanisms, because they're completely and utterly unnecessary. They're completely and utterly um, they're just uncalled for. There's no need for you to use them anymore. It's 2019. This is the time of renewal. It doesn't surprise me either that all this stuff is happening in November. Okay, this stuff is happening in November, and November is basically about action and starting over and acting on it. That's what the 11. That's what 11 is. Okay. So basically, what are the solutions, Spirit? What are the solutions for Taurus? How can they grow? How can their inner child grow? And how can they grow from the situation? What solutions do we have for Taurus and their inner child? What solutions do we have for Taurus and their inner child? I'm loving this. Taurus, you got the death card. You have the death card. So Taurus, what you got here is like one of my favorite cards is the death card. So basically the solution for you, that your inner child is basically saying for that you are to change. You are to allow the changes to happen. You are to allow the changes to pull through. You are to change your mindset when it comes to your behavior and your thoughts, and know that you are safe. There is nobody coming after you. There's no one coming after you. Your childhood is long gone. The folks that that cause any sort of strife in your life, at those times you can actually do the work necessary to outgrow that. You are to not be in survival mode anymore. What I'm getting from this card straight up and flat out is that this is the time for you to do some inner child work, or do some writing around, um, connecting with your inner child and letting them know that they are safe, that you're there to protect them. In fact, I'm getting that your inner child and what you've been through as a child is the reason why you're acting out now. I mean, the whole reading said that. But what is going on is that now your inner child is basically wanting you to change. Now you're being pushed to change, and your inner child is basically is edging you that way. Spirit is edging you to change. Okay, you got the death card here because transformation, inner transformation for you is so key. Your inner child is wanting to grow up. Your inner child is waiting for you to grow up so you can be the adult, the multifaceted adult that you are, Taurus. But in order for you to do that, you have to let go of those shackles. I'm already feeling the shadow like coming off of you right now. And it's because like a lot of you are really wanting to change. A lot of you are changing. A lot of you are doing the work necessary to change. And it's doable. It's very doable. You're not stuck in your situation. You're not stuck in your mentality. You're not stuck at all. You're anything but stuck. Okay? Just know that your ancestors and the spirit guides are with you, but you are to change. In fact, you're very powerful. I'm just getting that a lot of you are very powerful. But you also need to are to know that true power comes from growth. True power comes from using your power to uplift others, yourself included. And so that's what I'm getting from that death card. I'm also getting I'm getting the Three of Wands. I'm just getting help is at your fingertips. Help is at your fingertips. I'm getting that you are looking like don't do any. Oh, I'm just getting, help is there, which is help is within you, which is why you're not to do anything strenuous as far as you know looking to other people for to save you, or looking to other people to or to get you out of a situation. You are powerful enough to do that on your own. This is a time for you to face your stuff with spirit's help, to face your stuff. This card is usually, when it's right set up, is basically about asking for help, projects, looking to for something to happen, and hoping for the best. But what I'm getting here is that you are to do some inner reflection and not put that on anyone else. If you are to vent and because we're not alone, so if you need to vent, or you need to reach out to someone to say, look, I'm hurting, that's one thing. But to expect anybody to help you to the point where you're doing little to no work for yourself, that's not going to fly. So basically, what you're saying, what this card is saying, is that, or at least the energy that I'm getting from it, is that you're a lot more stronger than you give yourself credit for, Taurus. You're a badass. Okay, you're pretty much like you're pretty much a wizard. You know what I mean? You're the wizard. You're the wizard. You're the magician. Okay, and when people and magicians, they know they're also alchemists, and alchemists create something out of many elements. And so, what this card is saying is that you are capable of using your power and using your abilities to change your life, to tap into that inner child and tell that inner child that you're safe and that you're very sorry for not listening and putting them in situations that are not healthy for them. And you will not do this again, and you will do everything you can to change the dynamic and change the narrative that the both of you have been living with for quite some time. I know you can do this. I know you're capable. Okay, I know you're capable. I'm just feeling like I have a lot of hope for Taurus. A lot of hope for y'all. Y'all been through it. Y'all have gone through a lot of stuff. Y'all have gone through a lot of stuff. But I know that you like I know that you can get yourself out of the situation. You're no longer able to use your childhood as an excuse to hurt other people or to hurt yourself. It is 2019. This is a time um, for completion. This is a time of completion. It's not surprising that a lot of the energy is so strong this year because we're being pushed to let go of anything and anything that doesn't serve our greater purpose. And for you, and according to your inner child energy, Taurus, this is about you letting go of any aspect or any excuse that somehow your childhood is the reason why you have to be like this. Use your childhood to fuel you, to empower you, not to hold you back to the point where you're using your trauma as an excuse, as a crutch to not change. Because it's not going to do you any good for the long in the long run. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull one more card from the arrow. Yeah, I'm just getting for you. Yeah, this is a time for you to do some work. This is a time for you to tap into your inner child energy. This is a time for you to basically choose yourself first by choosing your growth first and moving straight ahead. Point it to point it to your growth and shoot the arrow and act accordingly. This is a time. This is a time. So that's all I have for you, Taurus, as far as your inner child energy. If that resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, by all means, click that thumb. Also, if you are new to the channel, be sure to connect with me and get more video, get more contents in your inbox or whatnot by subscribing to the channel. Also, I would love to see you comment, to see what you say. When y'all watch these videos, and also I am taking personal readings, so you can go to the bowtiepsychic.com to book a reading. We're gonna and we'll go on from there. Also, be ready for or that's another thing too. If you would like to, you can drop a donation as well. You can go to my PayPal. If you have PayPal, you'll find Javi the Medium there. And so just drop your donation there if you resonate with this video as well. And that's all I have. Thank you so much um, for watching. I really appreciate your energy. Thank you, Michaela, and thank you for someone else was here. Um, Thank you so much, the two of you, for being with me. I really appreciate it. And be sure to tell people that I'm here. The more people who know, the better. And I'll be able to, give messages. And so, thank you so much. I'm still working on the Patreon, so I would definitely let y'all know about that too. And that's it. Tomorrow I want to say 5 o'clock works better, so I'll be doing that. And I'll be doing Scorpio tomorrow, so stay tuned. All right. Take care. Peace.